Hey, this is Angie for Happy Healthy Vegan. So I thought I'd do a little quick follow-up on the NoFap video that was released the other day. So first of all, I just kind of wanted to point out that when we first sat down to record that video, I think it turned out to be like 20 to 30 minutes long. And Ryan actually took that one to edit it. So when he first told me he was done editing it and I walked in, I'm not even kidding. It was literally only the things where I was being silly to lighten the mood between us while we were recording. It was just me rolling my eyes and making faces and saying crazy things. Because Ryan thinks that what you guys really want here at Happy Healthy Vegan is to be entertained, and that the funnier a video is, the more likely you guys are to like it. Whether that's true or not, I'd love to know down in the comments. So actually, I freaked out and I was like, wait a minute, I remember making a lot of important points. You're gonna have to put those back in the video. So what we ended up with was a video that went from like really serious, the face with no expression and saying, serious things, to then making a joke to lighten up, serious joking. Now, for some reason, a few people came away from the video. All they remembered was the joking around. All they remembered was me being uncomfortable at the end. What about all the things that I said were really serious about porn addiction, about the FAP community, about spirituality, all you came away with saying that Angie's like a 12-year-old girl that obviously doesn't like to have sex and has never seen a porn in her life and doesn't know how life works. Yeah, right, okay? You guys are so completely off base. I have no idea where that's coming from. I'm a mature woman that's had a lot of experiences, and in all honesty, when people used to ask me about porn, I would say, why would I want to watch sex? I want to have sex, okay? I don't want to watch someone else doing it when I want to be feeling it, not looking at it, okay? So that was always my stance on porn. When I think of porn, I actually think of when I used to work at, I don't think it exists anymore, a record store that also had videos. It was called Warehouse.
All Warehouse record and video stores have a sensational video rental programs. Why not see the movies of your choice at home tonight?
It was a job I had when I was in like 11th grade. And I was the only female that would go into the porn section to organize it, to put everything back in alphabetical order. And I was the only person that would do the inventory in that section. And so I saw the outsides of a lot of porn boxes. And they were all just so stupid and ridiculous and gross that like that is probably what formed my opinion about the value of porn more than anything else, was, working with porn in that capacity. And then also when people would return the porn tapes, like, I couldn't help but form an opinion about that, and sometimes they would come back greasy or whatever, and so I was just always really grossed out by porn. Then the next thing I remember when I'm thinking about my opinion of porn is going into the back room, where the employees keep all their stuff, and just like all these guys that I worked with huddled around a TV watching a Swedish erotica. And I was like, ew, it was like this bright white room. It was clinically lit, and it was like this super close up on this woman's vagina. And it was just like so graphic and so where there was nothing glamorous. There was nothing sexy. There was nothing soft and inviting. There was nothing about it that made me think of sex. It just wasn't, it didn't speak to my experience about sex at all. That's like, sex for me was not being on some clinically lit like medical table with the camera zooming in my hoo-ha, so once again, I was just like, ew, porn is not for me. I watched a lot of like NC-17 movies growing up. I used to love to go to art theaters, and, I went to all these kinds of crazy clubs, like I can't say the name, and Perversion, and, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff that I guess someone would make a porno about. But it's like totally different when you see real people, wearing you know, wearing suggestive outfits or, you know, acting in sexualized manners. It's like still is so totally different being with a human being acting in these ways than watching it on a screen, like removed from you. With sex, usually there's you and then there's the person that you're having the intimate encounter with. But with watching porn, it's two people having an intimate encounter, and then who am I? I'm like the person that's sitting in the corner watching them. I'm like the person that's looking through the window like this. Like, who am I in that scenario? I find that a little disconcerting. So what was I getting at? I went and saw Annie Sprinkle talk one time, and I don't know, maybe Annie Sprinkle's a little too old school for you youngsters fapping it to porn, but you know, she's old school. She's like first or second gen porn, and so she was just laying it out there, all of her experiences in the porn industry, and just like all this pain she had for the fact that, you know, she was one of the few in her crew that didn't die of AIDS because she was lucky enough to have had hemorrhoids, that they didn't film her having anal sex unprotected, you know. And then she talked about all her struggles to like bring up the health standards in the porn industry and to try to create a woman's porn collective where it's like women making porns for other women. I suppose if I started watching women-made porn, maybe I would feel more included than I have with the experiences I've had watching male-created porn. Because I'd also seen porn like a, you know, like a boyfriend I'd broken up with. Like, I was visiting him and I don't know how he started putting on porn. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll watch a porn with you, whatever. And I was just like, we're watching it. And I was just like, yeah, it's not doing anything for me. It's just, it just doesn't speak to me, you know? The last time I actively looked at pornography was like a gay friend and I were hanging out, and for some reason we were messing around, and we looked at like a twink site or something like that, and we're looking at pictures of these European boys. They weren't engaged in sex activities, but they were nude, like in nature or something like that, or like sitting on a couch. And I don't even know if they even necessarily always showed full frontal, but you know, these boys are really beautiful and sweet and everything, and I just had my heart broken. I felt so sorry for them. I was imagining, oh my God, probably some sleazy guy just offered them $200 or whatever to go out into the woods and shoot these pictures for our entertainment online. And I just felt like the most horrible person in the world for looking at it. So this is where I am coming from when I'm sitting on my high horse talking about how I don't watch porn, okay? It's from real life experiences that didn't make it into the video. So that's how I feel about porn. And that's why I'm not into it. And okay, yes, sure, maybe there's some really great couples porn out there, but I just don't think Ryan and I are interested in that. If we were interested in sex, we would just have it. We wouldn't watch someone else having it. So end of story. That's my views on porn. Some of you said you want to make a response video. Feel free. Like this video if you're into it. Share it with a friend if you want to. But most of all, until next time, keep it carb, baby. Keep it carb. I'll try not to think about you doing yourself to porn, but I'm just saying that might be the first thing that pops into my mind. Sorry, Ted Carr. I'm sorry.